What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Jimson Michael, Jimmy Reviews, and I'm back for the first time in like forever, it feels like. And get straight to it. As the title says, your boy quit his job. Like for real. This time, no clickbait. Like for real. And it's kind of crazy to think that I actually did it. I actually just said screw it. So for those who don't know, your boy's been working in schools for about 4 or 5 years. 5 years, actually, yeah. And teaching is something that I've always enjoyed. I've always loved. I always had a passion for. And I love it. I love working with the kids. I love the interactions. I love just seeing like the kids grow, the relationships you build with them. All that stuff is just like what makes it the best job ever to me. But as years went, as times passed, things just changed. And it's funny because I never really not liked my job. I loved my job. I loved working with the kids. I loved just seeing them every day, just the hugs, the smiles, all that stuff. It really brought happiness to my heart. Sorry, the birds tweeting in the background. Anyway, it seems like more and more the reasons why I love it just got overshadowed by the things that it got overshadowed by the BS. And for those that have worked in schools or taught or did anything within like that realm of work, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. See, it's never the kids that are the problem. It's never the actual teaching. It's the politics. It's the parents. It's that trying to do a job, but you can't do it because there's all these rules and regulations and standards. And I've read articles about teaching and how teachers don't teach the right way and we don't teach our children the way they should be taught and all this nonsense. And let me just be the first person to defend the teachers for a second. The teachers don't go in thinking, yeah, this is how I want to teach. We're pretty much programmed, we're pretty much told that we have to do things a specific way. We got to teach it this method, this way, on this schedule. You get 20 minutes to do this subject, and if you don't get it done within that 20 minutes, you move on. So it's like the teachers are being held back from teaching the way they need to teach. There's a lot of great teachers out there who are frustrated, who can't do what they want to do, and can't do it to the best of their ability. And it's really frustrating. The most frustrating thing in the world is to be good at something and be held back from doing it the way you know you can do it. That's frustrating. It's just the way that things are now. It's the politics. The problem is the people who are in control of the actual rules and the laws and all that, they don't understand how it is to be in an actual classroom in the heat of the moment. They see things from a perspective of, oh, numbers. We need this number to be this number. That's all they see. Well, with kids, in businesses, that's fine because bottom line is profit. Bottom line is moving shipments, supply and demand. To me, children's education is not a supply and demand. It's not a number. It's a real human being who will become the future of our society. I'm not willing to treat my kids like a number. They're not. To me, they're not just a checkbox on the list. There are growing people. There are actual people with feelings and emotions and struggles. And to me, I was being forced to just do what I had to do on the list. Check some boxes. And that's not what teaching is to me. It became frustrating. And I've worked with special education for a long time. So I think 3 of those years, I worked in special education. And to me, I loved it. I loved it so much. The kids you get to work with are awesome. I worked with all kids on the spectrum of autism, learning disabilities, just everything. And those kids are the best kids I've ever worked with. My job every day, I was laughing at work because it was just the fun we had. And it was learning. It was developing each other, and I learned more from them than I probably taught them. So, they made me a better person. It got to the point where I couldn't give them the time that I needed to give them. It was all these little things that held me back from doing what I need to do. To the point where I honestly, at one point, just quit trying. Because I was so frustrated of trying to fight the system to do what I want to do. I was pretty much, it's so tough to try to fight the system to do what you need to do for the kids because as a teacher, you know your kids. They're like your children. They are your children. And to know that they need certain things and you know what they need, you know what you need to do for them, and you can't do that, and you're told that you have to do this instead, you know this won't work, because if it would have already had work, but the system says do it this way. It's so frustrating. So, and the problem is everyone has the boss that tells them what to do. The teachers has their team leads. The team lead has their principals. The principals has their superintendents. I mean, it's a big line. And the problem is it's not the principals. It's not them. Because I honestly can say that my principals were awesome. They genuinely cared for the kids, for the teachers. They always had our backs. They always wanted what was best for the kids. But even they had the pressures of having hit that number or hit that quote or that test score or the attendance rate. Like things that you really don't have control over because situations are different for every school. I worked in a Title I school. So a lot of our children were lower income. They may have had a single parents. Some were really in some bad situations. Some kids did not have food. Some kids would come to school with no snack. They couldn't afford breakfast. Their parents didn't sign them up for free lunch. It was just a lot going on. These kids had a lot more to worry about than just counting to 10. Like, they're hungry. They're tired. They're up. Their parents are fighting. You know, and for those who work with kids, you know, they'll tell you everything. And some of those things just made me sick to my stomach to think these what these kids are going through. These kids are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, and they're going through things that you shouldn't go through as a kid. And a lot of the parents didn't have time. A lot of parents are single parents trying to work hard to provide the minimal things that the kids need. Where, you know, in a perfect world, I can teach a lesson, I can go home, practice a lesson, have a good dinner, wake up in the morning, have a good breakfast, get to school. No, that's not how it happens in real life. I mean, we've had like first and second graders had to walk 2 miles to school in the cold because their parents didn't want to drop them off. And then you have parents who want to try to do everything they can, but can't. So you really just have two ends. You have the good and the bad. And unfortunately, the bad always is more noticeable. Like in life, the negative things are always more noticeable. And it got to the point where there became more negative people, negative situations, more negative things happening to the point where I was going to work just unhappy. It was killing my spirit of working with the kids to where I would come to work and just feel like, man, I don't have the energy. I don't have the spirit to really help these kids as much as I should be helping them. And that was killing me inside. And so at that point, I knew I had to either leave the school that I was currently at or something had to change. And so that's what I pretty much decided to do. At the end of the school year, around spring break, March, I put in my resignation saying, hey, I'm leaving. So I'll try to give them ample time to say, hey, I'll be leaving at the end of the school year, which is May, end of May, or yeah. And this brings us to the time that I was going to move to Dallas. You know, I was going to go to a different school district, maybe try different schools, different areas, different demographics, you know, to see if my love for teaching could get that spark, that re-spark, I would say. And so, yeah, I applied for some schools in Dallas, had a few interviews, some went well, and pretty much everything seemed perfect. Like the position I was going for was like ideal in my situation of what I wanted to do. The type of kids I'd be working with just seemed spot on what I wanted. The whole point of leaving was I didn't want to do the exact same job that I was doing in my last school. As a side note, I was working in special education, but the specific part I was working with, it was just not working for me. And like I said, it had nothing to do with the kids, but it had everything to do with the parents, the politics, the rules, just everything about that part of it was just not working for me. So when I moved, I made sure that I didn't want to apply for that same type of job, something different. So anyway, the interviews went and got the job. Everything's good, everything's dandy. And they told me like, hey, you know, you won't be doing this, you'll be doing what you want to do. Great. So yeah, days before school starts, we go to the classrooms. It's just the teachers and all that. And something feels a little bit off. I'm like, why am I in this hallway? Isn't this hallway the hallway that my team would be on? So I was told that, my team that I would be on is like in this downstairs area. And for some reason I was upstairs. And I was like, oh, did we get moved up? And the person that was with me was like, no, we've always been here. This is where SPED is. And for those who don't know, SPED is special education. So yeah, they were like, this is where SPED is. And I was like, okay, well, why is my room with you guys? And they're like, you're part of SPED. You're on our team. You're, part of us. And I'm like confused, like, no. I mean, I appreciate your, being nice and being part of a team, but this is not what I applied for. This is not what I intended to partake in. And they were like confused. And so I went to my downstairs to the principal, and I was like, hey, why am I upstairs with the SPED team when I'm supposed to be downstairs with the other group? And she pretty much told me, actually, we really needed someone who was special education certified, and you were the only one we had on staff that could fit the bill that we already didn't have in special education. And so we thought it would be better for you just, to stay within your realm of what you're used to, and you do very well with the kids. I'm sure you will. And I was just confused, like, no, that's not what we've talked about. That was not part of the interview. I did not just... And at that point, I was like, oh, here comes the BS. Here comes the politics. Here comes the, we need you to do this and do that. And at that point, I just couldn't do it. So I said, no, thank you. And for me, it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about my pride. It wasn't about I'm too good for this or too good for that. It was a statement to myself to say, you know what? I need change. And when that happened, I knew that wasn't it. So in a very respectful way, I just told her, no, ma'am. This is not what I signed up for. This is not what you told me. This is not what I applied for. This is not what we interviewed for. This is not it. And she kind of gave me the whole, well, you can still do it. You'll be great. And I'm like, I'm sure someone will. But that person is not me. And that was it. I resigned before school even started. And I decided that it just wasn't worth my time to, make the same mistake again. And that was a personal decision. And I made it. And one thing I will say is, I'm at the point in my life where happiness is more important than anything else. Money comes and goes. I mean, I can get a check today, blow it tomorrow, and it's gone. But happiness is something that we all really need. You get one life, right? I said, right now, what makes me happy? What brings joy to my life? And I said, helping people, running, relationships, working with kids. And I said, well, how can I do all those things and still be happy? So I decided that I'm moving back to Austin. So for those who know, I moved to Dallas, moved back to Austin within 2 weeks of me being there. I dropped everything, kind of start over. My clothes, shoes, I kind of just hit the reset button of life. So I drove back to Austin. I got a place. So as if right now, I'm kind of unemployed. But not in a bad way, if that makes sense. I'm happy. And it's been a while since I could genuinely say that I feel good. I feel happy. This morning I went for a run, and my run went terrible. I was so slow. But the whole time I was just but it feels good. But I'm not unemployed to the sense that I don't have any money. I can't make any money. I mean, I'm already signed up to work sub jobs. So that way I can kind of work with the kids without the BS. I'm still going to be doing YouTube videos. Not that makes a lot of money anyway, but it's still fun doing it. I've got a few emails from brands that want to do some sponsorship stuff. So little things like that will come and go. So it's exciting. I do want to make more content. I think I want to make better content. I've been watching YouTube the whole month I was kind of out. And I'm like, man, I think the running videos from people are getting better and better. And I'm like, man, I gotta step my game up. I can't just do what I've been doing. So I'm looking forward to kind of like pushing the brand, pushing running YouTube channels all together. Like I think we're in a good place right now. I think people who do reviews, we're doing better as a whole, and that's a good thing. That's what it's all about. Helping others, which that's my main thing. Having fun, being happy, and trolling, pretty much. Not this video, but next video I'll probably get back to trolling. I miss trolling you guys. With that said, yeah. This story is to be continued. Things are kind of happening as they progress. I figured I'd let you guys know what was going on, why I've been gone for a month, all that nonsense. This video's probably got way too long, and if you're still watching it, I appreciate it. Side note, so very random, a few things. I made some Mary Beth Arnault t-shirts and tanks. So if you guys were interested in those things, I'm going to put a link down below. So for those who are wanting some Mary Beth Arnault apparel, we made t-shirts and tanks. The tanks are available now. We just got to sign up on my links down below. I think if we sell 16 altogether, they'll ship out instantly to everybody. But until then, I got to like wait until the process time of however they do it. I don't really know. But yeah, we sold 3 so far. So if 13 of you guys want a Mary Beth Arnault Running Club t-shirt or tank, please go for it. Links down below. And I made a Twitch channel. I've always thought it'd be kind of cool to do a stream like on Twitch. I've always liked Twitch. It always fascinated me. So yeah, I got a Twitch channel. It's at Jameson Runs. Same thing as my Instagram. So yeah, follow me on Instagram at Jameson Runs. Follow me on Twitch at Jameson Runs, and follow me on YouTube if you haven't already. Subscribe. With that said, you guys stay good. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. And as always, keep it tight.